Okay, go.
Okay, chapter 25, California local government and finance. So you see, Professor George, me, and Daniela, which is not here. Section 1, California counties, special districts, and regional bodies. Okay, Sacramento, is it mine?
Oh, no, it's,
To California?
yeah, Sacramento, California is the same as like Washington is to the United States. It's the capital, and so it's like the main government.
Yeah. So, local governments don't have capitals and can be seen more in the day-to-day services that they can on a grand scale, like the national and scale governments.
And then local governments make up 87,474 of the 87,525 government units across the nation.
Counties, towns, and townships. County is a unit of local government, and counties exist in most states, but not all states have counties. And the size of states does not determine the number of counties. A state can have 0 counties or upwards of 200 counties. And states like Louisiana and Alaska, what we know as counties, are called by different names. Louisiana, parishes. Alaska, boroughs.
I think it's
Boroughs.
parishes and
Boroughs?
Boroughs. And it's parishes, yeah. Like a church parish.
10% of the population lives in parts of the country with no counties. Counties can vary widely in area, which is demonstrated by the difference in size of the smallest county in the nation, Hawaii, which covers only 13 square miles, and the largest, which is Alaska, that covers 88,817 square miles. Population can vary widely to ranging from the tens to multiple million in the same county. Counties can serve as minimal or major units of government depending on where it is.
And that is a map of like all of the counties in the United States, I believe. That's it. I don't know.
And what was the meaning of that?
It was just like showing you like all of the different sizes and stuff of like counties in the United States.
Oh, I see.
So like all the little black lines are dividing like all the different counties. So there's like counties everywhere.
Good name them off of you.
Did you notice a trend in those as you were looking at that? Is there anything that
They go
stood out to
from
you?
bigger to smaller.
Yeah, on the eastern side.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like some places like right here in Texas, like they're really orderly, and then there are other places where they're like not orderly at all.
By
So it
orderly,
shows
do
you,
you
like, the
mean
difference.
consistent in their size, or what do you mean?
Yeah, well, like the ones in Texas right there, they're all
Little
like
squares.
squares. They're all like tiny little squares. They're like mostly the same size. But then like if you look at California, there's like that one huge one down there, and then there's like a bunch of little ones.
Which are little trapezoids, you know?
So there's like not really any specific size or anything.
Okay, so in England, the 6 states are divided into towns that are responsible for most of the services. Counties in America that take care of it. Counties there are mainly for judicial reasons and don't affect citizens' lives on a daily basis like they do here. Town government is similar to the government in colonial times and holds town meetings just like the colonists did. Town meetings are open to the eligible voters, and for some people represents direct democracy at its finest. Many of the larger towns have shifted to the representative democracy as politics grew more complex.
So what that like means is, like England, they have counties, but the counties are mostly just for judicial reasons, and like the duties that counties here have are like taken care of by towns there. So yeah, and they have like they're a lot like the colonial time because they still have like town meetings, and like the whole town like votes on stuff, and yeah. But they also have a board that like takes care of stuff when they're not having town meetings. And then those are all the towns in England.
towns or townships?
Townships.
I think
It's
in
called
England, I
township.
think they're called towns, right? And then in America, they're called townships.
I knew that. Okay. Townships are divided out of counties in certain mid-Atlantic and mid-western states. Along with counties, townships govern rural areas in a way that's similar to the town system in England. Township meetings are held for about half of the states, but the 3 of the 5 members of the board of trustees or supervisors takes over in between those meetings. And a separate government entity called the municipality,
Municipality.
which is an urban political unit, can exist within a township, but township functions are usually rural. A township can involve matters from road and cemeteries to minor law enforcement and public school administration.
So townships are like counties can be divided into townships, and out of all the states that have townships, like half of them hold town meetings just like they do in England. So. And then that's like an example, like North Dakota and South Dakota have townships, and so that's an example of one.
Okay. San Bernardino County, which is on 2,062 square miles, and Alpine County, which has 1,190 people, and then LA, which has 8,000 times as many.
So that's like an example of the different ranges, because like the largest county is 20,062 square miles, and then the smallest county only has 1,190 people, and then like compared to LA, which has like millions. So
legislator.
Anyways,
Anyways, gives the counties what powers they need to provide for the people in the county. Official docs include real estate transactions, statistics like births and deaths.
So the official documents are what the state state legislature takes care of.
State? I thought you were reading about the county there.
Wait.
Yeah, county.
Oh yeah, that's the powers that are given to the county by the state
By the,
legislature.
by the state.
Yeah. And then that's the county in California. So you can see right here, that's San Bernardino or whatever. That's the largest county, and then Alpine, I think, is in.
So let me ask you this question, based off of your research and your study of this, why would you think that California evolved in such a way that there is such a, you've already highlighted this a couple times, a dramatic difference in the geographical size of some of these counties?
I think it has to do with like the like rural I can't say it, rural areas, and because like up there, like Oakland, number 7, like everything, there's like a lot more population, I think, right?
So are you saying that the smaller the county, the more able it is because they're more densely populated, and so they need to be smaller to deal with the larger population?
Yeah, because they only have like so much resources, and because they're given to them by the state. And
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Like the more people are there, like it puts stress on the resources, and so like the bigger ones have like kind of balance that out.
So you're saying like down in Riverside there, the majority of that is desert and there just aren't that many people there, so there's not the need for a smaller county?
I'm pretty sure.
Is that true?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
That's
one of the major points. There are other reasons for that, the historical evolution of that, but that's one of the major reasons.
the geography of the land.
Yeah. And population.
Well, I don't have to read all.
Yeah, when you're going like
Well, you
over there by like
I've been
Ferguson,
reading
you're
it.
just passing
Like, I'll
through
read
like
some of it.
fields,
Oh, here they do.
factor in.
I have it.
Oh, then keep reading. Oh, you read it.
Okay. California Constitution approves two types of governments. The first is general law counties, and those follow the state law concerning number of officials, duties, and other elements, and their laws do not differ from the state law, which charter counties, the other type, do. Charter counties have more freedom to decide their own structure, which includes powers and duties of government officials. To adopt a charter, a county needs the majority of voters. Charter cities and counties each have the charter status, but the county charter still has some power over the city charter. But in California, San Francisco is the only charter city and county. And what that means is charter cities and counties are the city has kind of the same freedoms as the county, but they're under the county just like the county is under the state. So they have some freedom, but not complete freedom to do stuff or to change stuff.
How is it that San Fran has both?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How is it that San Fran has both?
San Francisco is crazy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Chinatown.
You know, any city / county that allows people to walk around naked, it's got issues.
Got issues?
Hey, man.
There should be more seven.
Freedom of expression.
Yeah, freedom not to be offended, have your children be offended.
It's all good. That's another view. Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors has legislative powers like levying taxes and create ordinances, which are local laws as long as they do not conflict with the state's laws. Executive powers include collecting taxes and enforces ordinances, planning county's future, overseeing and approving budgets, sending money on programs to meet their residents' needs. Charter counties can have more than 5 members, and the 4-year terms overlap to prevent the absence of experienced members.
So the Constitution separates powers, so usually there's not legislative and executive powers, but I think it's because it's just or whatever that they're able to. And then the overlapping terms, I think it's for example, if they did 3 years and then they elect somebody else to start the same year that the last person is finishing, so that they all have experience, and there's never inexperienced people in the office.
So you're saying there's a continuity of knowledge which can be continued?
Yeah, because when the new people come in to start learning, the old people are still there
They need practice.
for a year or two, finishing out their term, so that everybody knows what they're doing.
Does that kind of shock you that the county is so diffused? I know you're going to talk about this, but there's so many elected officials. The power is very diffused.
Yeah. Other county officials. The California Constitution calls for 3 other elected officers: the county sheriff, the district attorney, and the county assessor. Charter counties and the general law counties both have to have those 3. And the other ones, the charter counties have the option to elect them or not elect them, but general law counties have them. And that's county clerk, tax collector, superintendent of schools, coroner, surveyor, fish and game warden, veterinarian, and a road commissioner.
So did you guys do your research and find out who our elected officials are in Merced County?
Steve Gold.
No, I didn't.
Officer Smith.
Can I challenge you guys when you come back tomorrow to make sure you have those listed and let's talk about them?
No.
Okay, yeah. The duties of the sheriff are to keep the county jail and its prisoners, investigate crime, and carry out court orders. The district attorney prepares indictments, conducts prosecutions, defends suits brought against the state and their county, and the assessor estimates the value of taxable property in the county.
Special districts. Special districts can range from airport and irrigation districts to hospital districts. Some districts are the most common, but in California they are considered separate from special districts. Special districts can provide services in areas that are different than counties or cities. For example, a special water pollution district may cover several counties that a river flows through. Okay.
Do you have one that's, an example of one that's close to us here?
The water district in Merced.
Okay, there are water
It
districts.
watches the whole, the Lake Yosemite, which runs from.
You're talking about MID Merced Irrigation District?
Did too much though.
What about the San Joaquin Valley Air Control District? That's the whole reason by year 2020 or 17, we have to have all brand new buses. Our buses are fine, they run fine, but because of the San Joaquin Air Control District, they say we need brand new buses.
What are you guys gonna do?
Is that why we're only getting one new bus?
Well, we have to figure out a way to get all these buses before, I think it's either 2017 or 2020.
Okay, and then dependent special districts are governed by another legislative body, like a board of supervisors, and the independent ones have their own board of directors. Residents can create special districts if they are willing to pay for them. Examples of enterprise districts who charge for their services are hospital and water districts, and non-enterprise districts do not charge and rely on property taxes. And examples of those are libraries and parks. School districts they're like special districts, but they are like separate. They're considered separate from them. The school board adopts budgets, negotiates with employee unions, sets policies, and hires and fires teachers or district superintendents. Each county has to have a board of education, and the state controls school funding. The board establishes policies, adopts textbooks, and provides for administration of laws.
Can I ask you, would any of you have any interest in one day running for the school board and helping to shape, mold, and determine educational directions here at the high school?
I'm down.
Can I ask you why it is that we have no younger people serving on our school board? Why are these all
Because we're
generally
less experienced than them, maybe?
less experienced? I mean, by less experienced, what do you mean? People have
Maybe they
gone-
just find it boring. They want to go out, find a better balance.
Well, it's not that because
this is not a
adults,
full-time job.
maybe because adults don't really take it serious.
Maybe because their kids or their grandkids are in school, and so they care more about the education if it's closer to home like that, and so they feel like they have to be a part of it.
Well, then let me ask you this. If we have students who are enrolled at CSU Fresno, CSU Stan, UC Merced, that live close to home, that obviously have a passion for education because they're going on for graduate work, why would they not be interested in helping to design the curriculum and the type of education that goes on here at their old alma mater, and where they may have family members or friends who are attending? Why do we not have younger folks interested in designing that?
Can we even have younger people?
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe they don't know they can. They're not.
Maybe
They
because
just
others.
don't want to. Maybe.
Maybe they don't. Yeah, not aware.
I don't know.
Or maybe because
Maybe
it's
they
a
just see
huge
old
commitment.
people.
Let me throw it, and I'm taking it to a higher level of critical thinking. What would it be like if we took five of you here, like seniors, you enrolled at CSU Fresno, UC Merced, and as a community service, you ran for the school board. And 5 of you ended up helping to design and create the educational policies and standards for this school. Is that something that you think could be inspiring or motivate you guys? Something
No.
to do? You have to do this, you have a board meeting maybe once or twice a month, and you do your homework and you bring your knowledge of education and you help design future citizens? Is that something that...
Not
I feel like it would be too much
It'd be
responsibility.
boring. Sounds boring.
Then you hear all these like critiques and everything.
Maybe our ideas would be different and how we would try to change things, and not many folks that are around would like that. And that would be hard for younger people to get elected or whatever.
Why would it be hard for younger people?
I don't know, maybe just growing up we have different views of how teaching should be taught, and then the old folks around think differently growing up, you know, so then it'll probably be hard for them to get elected by the population.
Maybe. I want you to think about that. What would life be like here at this school if we had younger, college-going folks who'd be
It'll be more
practicing?
popping, more like.
Like back in the day? Right.
Like a lot of the traditions might be like taken out
Yeah.
because
Old people like traditional stuff, and then we like kind of more
like
new
modern stuff.
Yeah.
Something
So
to
it
think
would
about.
just like change. It would just change
We'd
a
be
lot.
getting nowhere.
For real.
We'd be going backwards.
Little weird. Hating that white.
Go ahead, Dan.
Regional bodies. Some regional bodies are solely advisory, keeping watch over whatever the area needs. For instance, improvement in travel facilities. Others must regulate their areas, for example, watching over business activity to keep from polluting the air. It has the power to give fine and other penalties for non-compliance.
So that's like the San Joaquin Valley Air District thing that you were talking about. Like the state creates it because it like recognizes the need for cleaner air in like the certain area, and so they create the regional body to fix it.
How about YARTS, Yosemite Area Rapid Transit? It covers multiple counties, Fresno, Madera, Merced.
Yeah. Tribal government. Tribal council serves as a link to federal and state government and takes care of services and decisions in the interest of the tribe. Tribes have the right to tribal government gaming, which is like casinos, and Indian tribal enterprises do not generally pay income taxes. Tribal governments are working with the local, state, and federal government on legislative, legal, and regulatory actions.
Okay, so
That's the end
we're
of
on
section
section 2 now.
Section 2 is cities and metropolitan areas in California and the nation.
America's rural urban shift. In 1790, Philadelphia was the largest city with 42,000 people. Modern cities hold millions of residents. And patents make large-scale production and transportation possible. Farming inventions help to continue the growth of cities, and local governments have trouble keeping up.
City dwellers in 1790 made up 5% of the population, but now they make up 80%. And then the largest city was Philadelphia with 42,000 people, and New York back then only had 33,000, and Boston had 18,000. The patenting of the double acting steam engine, the steamboat, and the locomotive made large-scale manufacturing and distribution of goods possible. And as a result, cities began to grow as the population became concentrated around the new transportation and manufacturing centers. Farming inventions around the same time reduced the need for labor and allowed farmers to produce food more efficiently. The number of urban dwellers continued to increase, and today more than 80% of the nation's population lives in cities. And in California, 97% of people live in cities. Large numbers of people in one area cause strain on local governments who have to try to keep up with the increasingly extensive and expensive services for their citizens. So that's like what I was saying earlier about how the counties are like bigger in some areas because the people aren't as closely packed together.
Forms of city government. Through incorporation, a state can establish a city as a legal body. The state has power to impose limitations on the cities and to decide what power they have. And ways to incorporate through the body of supervisors or by a petition. And 3 city categories: general law, charter, and charter city.
So that's like general law, like I said earlier, was the one that just goes by the state law, and charter cities are the ones that can make their own choices somewhat, and charter city and county is like San Francisco.
Each California city has a mayor, councilor, or council manager form of the government. Mayor council government is most common and features an elected mayor as chief executive and elected council as the legislative body. Members of council serve 2 to 4 years terms and are popularly elected. The mayor is chosen by the council to preside over meetings and retains all of the duties and powers of the council member. Strong mayor government found in larger cities. Mayor is chief administrative officer of the city and is able to veto ordinances, exercise vigorous leadership, make policies and budgets, and run city affairs.
Weak mayor government is like the more common style, and the mayor has less formal power, but the executive duties are shared, and the main services of the mayor are just to preside over meetings and be the ceremonial head of office. So like in strong mayor government, they actually have the power to like veto and stuff. They're kind of like the president in a way. And then with like weak mayor government, they don't have any extra like power compared to the other members of the board. They just like serve as the representative kind of. There are 3 defects of mayor-council form. 1 is that it depends on the mayor's capacities. 2 is that disputes between the mayor and council can halt the workings of city government. And 3 is it's complicated and hard to comprehend for average citizens. And this is the chart from the book that just shows how the different forms of mayor-council form are. Or so this shows like when it's a strong mayor, the voters like select the mayor and the council, and they're like separate kind of.
Like an executive and a legislative?
Yeah, because the mayor has like different powers than the council does. And then so the mayor like makes the main decisions, and then with weak mayor model, then the council and the mayor are like equal, but then the council like makes the final decisions.
Let me edit your verbiage just a little bit. In the strong mayor, the mayor is like the president. The council would be like the legislative body. So you got executive and legislative. In the weak mayor, it's kind of like they're all like a parliament, and the mayor is kind of like a figurehead. So it's really the parliament that's making the city council that's making the shot calls there.
Okay, and then the next form is council manager government, which is the most common type in California and features 1, a council of 5, 7, or 9 members for 4-year terms, 2, a weak mayor chosen for a 2 to 4-year term, and 3, a manager, the city's chief administrative officer, named by the council. The first form of this government appeared in 1904. The council makes the city's policies and the manager carries them out. The manager directs all the other departments and can hire and fire employees. 3 advantages of it are that it's simple in form. Responsibilities are clear, unlike the other one where like the whole board has different responsibilities that like work together. And it relies on highly trained and skilled experts. So like not just anybody can join the board.
Can be a manager.
Yeah. Commission government has 3 to 9 commissioners that take care of every department of city government and bring legislative and executive powers into one body. This type of government, commission government, began in 1901 in Texas to cope with the disaster that the old mayor-council style couldn't handle.
We have like
No.
We'll stop there then. Or should we?
I guess he was anxious to close shop.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
He's little.
I like pressed the screen and